Ah, there we go. Whew. All right, all right. What's going on, party people? We're gonna slide on up in here. Let me see what I can pull together real quick. Uh, oops, that's not what I want. I'm just on the fly, y'all. Just on the fly with this one tonight. All right. Um, let's see here. Where you coming from? Where you coming from? Oh, we know where you from, my man. My man out there in California. All right. It was something I was looking for. Let me see if I can find it. When I'm on the oh man, where's my saved stuff? That's there it is. That's what I'm looking for. All right. I hope this is it. Woo-wee. Oh, okay. They never contacted you back, huh? What's going on, my man? Rolling out from Texas. All right. So I don't know. Hopefully YouTube won't get me. But I'm trying. I want to play some stuff for y'all. All right. Um, hopefully y'all be able to hear this. All right. So yeah, hit the like button, share. I know I'm late, but I had to decompress, y'all. Today was hectic and got home and I just had to decompress for a little bit and clear my head before I hopped up here. It wasn't nothing bad, but it was just a really, really busy day. It just started getting real, real hectic. Some stuff sort of got delayed and twisted and turned. And I just had, I said, look, when I got home after picking up the wife and my son, I said, let me just decompress for about 30 minutes or so. And that's what I did because I got home probably about nine something. And I just had to sit down and just decompress for a little bit, get my head clear and everything. And let me see here. It's a couple of shorts that I want to show y'all. Well, not well, they from Instagram. So hopefully they will play and y'all turn your volume up and let me know whether or not they don't play. Hold on. Why is oops, no, that's the wrong one. Trying to get my there we go. That's the background that I like. All right. So I'm gonna play this. Let me know if y'all can hear. I'm gonna play it for a few seconds. I'm gonna stop it and let me know if y'all can hear this.
As hard as you can squeeze it, and you ask yourself, what will come out? And what comes out when you squeeze an orange?
Hold on. I had my microphone thing twisted all up. Let me let me start over. All right, here we go. All right, hold on. Hold on. No sound. Okay, y'all don't hear anything? All right, hold on one second. Let me try something here. All right, no sound, no sound, no sound. Hold on. Mic, my settings. All right, check one, check one. There I am. All right. There was sound the first time. Okay. All right, so hold on. Speaker. All right. All right. This should be it. All right. Let me try this again. All right, so let me try this one more time. All right, so let's get you back on stage. Let me stop, share. All right, share audio. All right, put you back up there. Let's try
You
it
take
now.
this orange and you squeeze it as hard as you can squeeze it. And you ask yourself, what will come out? And what comes out when you squeeze an orange? Orange juice. Never, no matter how many times you...
All right, let me pull my phone up. This one of, I know y'all.
You squeeze an orange juice. Never, no matter how many times you
Okay.
squeeze it, will apple juice come out? And the next question is why? Why when you squeeze an orange as hard as you can squeeze it, does orange juice come out? The reason that orange juice comes out when you squeeze it is because that's what's inside. Now you extend the metaphor and someone squeezes you. That is, someone says something about you that you don't like. Someone behaves towards you in a way that you find offensive. And out of you comes anger, hatred, bitterness, tension, fear, anxiety, stress. And immediately you say, the reason that comes out of me is because of how he said it, or the way that she said that, or because they did that. But the truth is, the reality is that what comes out is what's inside. And if you don't like what's inside, you can change it. You take this orange and you squeeze it as hard as you can squeeze it. And you ask yourself, what will come out? And what comes out when you squeeze an orange? Orange juice. Never, no matter how many times you squeeze it, will apple juice come out? And the next question is why? Why when you squeeze an orange as hard as you can squeeze it, does orange juice come out? The reason that orange juice comes out when you squeeze it is because that's what's inside. Now you extend the metaphor and someone squeezes you. That is, someone says something about you that you don't like. Someone behaves towards you in a way that you find offensive. And out of you comes anger, hatred, bitterness, tension, fear, anxiety, stress. And immediately you say, the reason that comes out of me is because of how he said it, or the way that she said that, or because they did that. But the truth is, the reality is that what comes out is what's inside. And if you don't like what's inside, you can change it. You take this.
So that's what's going on with a lot of people. That is what's going on with a lot of people in the notary business. This business is squeezing the heck out of them. And they're coming out and just, because the business ain't what they thought it was. Well, I'm mad about these fees because of, nah. You just mad because you mad. It was already in you. See, most real entrepreneurs, they see it and they say, okay, that's a challenge there. How do I make that to be something positive for my business? They're not sitting around fussing and complaining and whining about what somebody else is doing. And well, you're hurting my business. Am I? No. They figure out, okay, that's a challenge. Okay, this is what's going on. How do I make that better for me? How do I turn it around for something positive for me? But let me play this one to you. Let me play this one. This one I think y'all will really get.
One of the ways to pay influencers.
Nope, that's the wrong one. My bad. Hold on, let me go back.
The hardest way to create wealth, it's also the most rewarding way to create wealth, but the hardest way to create wealth is to be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Because if you follow the flow of the income statement and you see who gets paid first, if you just go through the income, first the suppliers, then you pay your staff, then you pay the government taxes, then you pay the bank interest, then you pay yourself dividends. So the entrepreneur in the business gets paid last. But unless we go through an education system that teaches us these things, what happens is we breed entrepreneurs, you're seeing it now, who think entrepreneurship is instant money. Do you see? Whereas any person who's a real entrepreneur, and I'm not, with respect, I'm not talking about people who pose as entrepreneurs, I'm talking real entrepreneurs, will tell you that it takes a long time and it's very hard. So that's why you need an education for people who want to be an entrepreneur. And it doesn't have to be commercial education. Like you can go study architecture, doesn't matter.
As long as you study the discipline of
the thing.
repetition.
Like study the thing, be in the thing. The hardest.
So I like that because it's telling you, see, people don't understand what entrepreneurship is all about. Okay. When you really understand what entrepreneurship is all about, you won't be complaining about some of the stuff you're complaining about. You'll find a way to get through it and use it to your advantage. Oh, the fees are a little bit lower, no problem. I know what I can do. Oh, the orders are coming in late. How can I maximize that to my its utmost potential for me. See, entrepreneurs take on the challenge. W-2 minded people, they run away from that. Okay. They don't like challenges. W-2 people don't like challenges. They want things easy. They want things laid, played out for them, and they can just get up every morning and just walk into it, and they know what it is. And there are some businesses that are like that, but in my opinion, the notary business is not like that. And I'm not talking about just from the mortgage side. I'm talking about just period. Okay, period. This business is not like that, because when you get up in the morning, how many people are out there? When you get up in the morning and you walk outside your house, how many people in your neighborhood are running around saying, I need a notary? Zero. From Sunday through Saturday. How many people have gotten up this week and said, when you got up, I need a notary? Nobody. You have to go out there and find them amongst all the other people, and they have to find you. And you have to find a way to get them to feel confident in you, and you have to feel confident in them. It's hard work. And these fake entrepreneurs, they get out here on YouTube and they sell you a pipe dream, or what it is, and this is what I'm seeing. The people who are complaining the most about this business are the people who spent the most money on training. They're the ones who spent the most money on training, complaining about the fact that, it's not like what I thought. No. You had no thought about how this business was. Your thoughts about this business came from your trainer. Your thoughts about your business came from your trainer. That's where you got your thoughts. Your thought about this business comes from who you get training from. And they're the ones who say, oh, the business is like this and it's like that. And you can just get money coming in left and right, which you saw on TikTok and all that kind of stuff. So let me cover some, and feel free to drop in your questions and your comments and things of that nature. But we gonna hit this here. I just had a last minute borrower closing. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. So let me pull this up here. And we gonna do this here thing tonight. All right. So now, hey, what's going on now? Thank you. You say you can't control what goes on around you, but you can control what goes inside of you and how you respond. That is correct. And welcome, Houston, Texas. So let's take a look at this. Let's take a look at this. This is some polls that I put up there. And for those of you, if you haven't had a chance to vote, feel free to vote. And I haven't really played with the numbers, to figure out, because there's not that many people that voted. But so here's the first poll that I put up here. I said, what percentage of last minute closings do you do per month? And counting and defining 20 last minute closing as 24 hours or less after you get the notification. Okay, 24 hours or less after you get the notification. So you're looking at 50%. People are getting 50% of their work. 36% is saying half of their work is last minute. And then less than 50, then 36% is saying less than half of their work is 50%. I mean, is 50%, less than 50% of their work is last minute. You got 18%, you got 9% that's in the 80 range. But what that shows you is that there's a lot of people still getting those last minute closings. They're out there and they're getting them. Okay. I wanted to put up here 0, but they didn't give me enough options to do that. Then this one says, what factors limit you from doing last minute closings? And again, the time frame. And 36% says your W-2. Now, this is something that I was saying earlier in this year and late last year, that the vast majority of people that's coming into the business now, they still working a W-2. That's where the issue is right now, is that A lot of people who are coming into the business right now for the last 8 months, probably almost a year, they're still working a W-2. They're not ready to give up that W-2. And they heard about notary and they want to tinker with it. They probably did a closing, and the person who they met was probably bragging about all the money they make, and they seem to be having their stuff together. So they said, well, I'm gonna do it too. And they probably clicked on their affiliate link, paid for a $500 course, $200 a month mentorship or whatever, but they can't get any work. And they didn't know, and no one told them that those orders will be coming during their working hours. They didn't tell them that. They didn't tell them that. 9% of the people said there are other businesses that they do, family structure, wife, kids, all that stuff, husband, lack of confidence or lack of equipment or confidence. And then 23% said a combination of these things here is stopping them from being able to go out here and do last minute closings. And then the question is this: which of the following made you aware of last minute closings? 57% said none of these above. So that tells you 46 people voted on this. Basically, double, 46 people double of the other two. Nobody is talking about last minute closing. They're complaining about them, but they're not talking about the fact that they're out there. And if anybody saw them on the social media, I guarantee their exposure to last minute closing was people complaining about the last minute closings. That mentor coach didn't talk to you about it. There my lady is. Yeah, me and her, we had a good conversation today. She's doing good. She had 6 signings today. Her first sixer today. 6 signings today. I told y'all, this young lady here, she's rocking it. She said her first direct client was somebody who dropped out at the last minute and she took the order. Serenity, she's rocking it. I'm telling you, she's rocking it. So all of these things here, these main things, so the training you paid for, 7% heard about last minute signings. Mentor coach, 9%. Them notary meetups and conferences, they don't talk about that. They trying to sell you something, but they ain't talking about last minute closing. But 57% of the people who voted said none of the above, that they didn't hear anything about any of that kind of stuff at all. Thank you very much. I told y'all, I help you to get to where you need to be with this business. If you out here to do it, I will help you to get it done. I will help you. You just got to be you just got to be ready and willing to do it. So nobody is really talking about last minute closes except to complain about them. But here's what I did was, so I can stay on point, I got a little sheet here, and I'm going to give you 8 reasons that I've come across that talks about why, or the reasons for last minute closings, okay? And I will go into a little detail about each one from my experience, okay? Somebody else could have a different experience. So one, and it is no particular order, I have to say that so people don't think that's the number one reason. These are as they popped in my head at about 1 o'clock in the morning. I just wrote them down real quick. The first reason that I have down here, rate change to a lower rate. What that means, rate, and I wish I had time, I would have typed them up here on the screen. Rate change, okay? What that means is, let me rate, lower rate change. All right. So lower rate change, that's the first one. What happens sometimes, there might be an opportunity for the rate to go down, and somebody might have a 6.225 or something like that, and the rate goes down to a 5.8. For some reason, somehow something falls off their credit score, the interest rate out there in the interest rate world drops a little bit, and then all of a sudden they can drop. And because the interest rate dropped, that means their payment drops, and the amount of payment that they can actually handle, monthly payment, goes up. So then therefore they might be able to take out more equity out of their property to take care of some things. So then the loan officer calls them and says, hey, Fred, the interest rates just dropped. And we just did a check, or we found out that your that and the other fell off, in your credit score went up 85 points, which now qualifies you for a lower interest rate. Now we can get you in there, but guess what? You need to close today. Can you close today? Fred probably like, yeah, I can. Okay, good. We'll get it together. And then they do that, and then they get into the process to get that thing closed today to help them get a 5.8% interest rate instead of a 6.225. Those things can happen. Now, whether you experience it or not, that's a different story. But it can happen. That's one thing that I've seen. The lower rate change. So the interest rate goes down. My point there makes so much sense now. Yeah. This is what can happen. Okay. I'm giving you based off of my experience of what I've seen. Okay. So the next one is, and this is the big one, and this is probably the number one. Notary canceled. The notary bailed out on the order. Now why would the notary bail out on the order? They saw how many pages it was printing. They got offered a higher fee for another order about during the same time. So they're like, well, this order is for 85, but I just got one for 125. I'm gonna take the 125 and toodaloo to this one. That can happen. I got the documents, and oh man, it's 200 and some documents, 200 and some pages, or 185 pages. And I asked them to pay me more money, and they said, no, I ain't doing it. So the notary canceled. Now, keep in mind, there's a chance. Now, you're getting it last minute because the notary canceled, but there's a chance that the notary who canceled got it 3-4 days ago. And they had that they had it 2-3 days ago. Then they finally downloaded it, and they saw how many pages, and they asked for more money because their Facebook buddies told them to do it, and their little bum notary trainer told them to do it. And guess what? Now they don't have an order because they said, we're not paying you anymore. The order's for 85. Well, this is 147 some pages. I need more money. Okay, who set the limit of how many pages supposed to be printed? Well, if it's more than 75 pages, you got to pay me more money. No, we're not paying you. Well, I can't do it. So now the notary drops off, and guess what? Now they got to get somebody else. They got to get somebody else at the last minute. Those things happen. And some of you might have done that. Hey, let's just might have done that. Okay. That's a reason right there. So notary canceled. Notary had an accident. Notary wanted more money, and they told them no. Notary, they found out that the notary said, you got to pay me more money for scan backs or the number of pages. The notary looked at the documents and realized that it was for a different state, and they didn't understand the notarial area. I've had notaries do that. They called and told me, yeah, I saw the notarial thing and I didn't understand it. So I told them I ain't doing it. So there's all kinds of reasons why notaries cancel. But guess what? When they cancel, it causes the whole thing to fall apart. And now you got a last minute closing, because depending on when they cancel, they got to get this done, and we got to get it done today. All right. So that's another reason why notaries cancel. I mean, you get last minute signings. Another one is underwriter approves loan. Okay, so that's another one right there. The underwriter approves the loan at the last minute. Okay, didn't feel like writing all that, but at the last minute, the underwriter approves the loan. Sometimes the underwriters are busy. They might have been out. They might have four underwriters, and now they're down to three, but they got all these things. And then they finally get to the document to say, okay, yep, the loan is approved and we got to close today. They wanted the underwriter to do it 2 days ago, but the underwriter didn't have a chance to. So now the underwriter looks at it and said, yep, everything is good. Go ahead on and you can go ahead on the close, and they got to close the day because the rate lock ends today. So now that's one of the reasons why, because and it's not that they're doing it on purpose, but that's just the flow of things. Okay. That is the flow of things. And I did a interview with a former underwriter. Look at my business interviews, and it was from about 2 years ago, maybe 3, and she broke that stuff down. So that kind of thing can happen. The underwriter is slow getting it done. Okay. So here's another reason. Issues at the title of the lender. What the issues could be, who knows? The issues at the title of the lender. They could be low staff. I think they can have low staff. They can have they could just have influx. Who knows? But there's an issue going on with the title and the lender that's delaying the docs, and then they finally get them together and they're like, okay, yeah, we can close now. They was trying to get it done at to get it the documents processed yesterday so they can close today, and for some reason it didn't happen, and it got the documents processed at 1 o'clock, and they're like, okay, we need to close at 4 o'clock, and the customer's been waiting, and boom. Another thing that just popped in my head when it comes to the signers. Okay, no, I do have it down there. Okay, got it. All right. So there could be issues at the title company that could cause this to happen. This is why you have last minute closings. Okay. Last minute close. And because of these issues with them, you can have closings get delayed and canceled. Okay. But primarily delayed. And I've had that happen a lot this month. Okay. So let's look here. What's another one? Okay. Well, that was staffing issues. Here's a big one. All right. This is a real big one. Signers had an emergency. What that emergency is, it doesn't matter. All of a sudden, hey, we can't do it this time. We got to change. And that's what happened today. Somebody was supposed to going to meet with me at 10 o'clock this morning, and they contacted me at 7:30 and said, hey, we got to push it back to the afternoon. I was like, okay, what time? They told me what time. I was like, I'm going to be booked. So guess what? Now we got a last minute signing. I was booked for that closing several days ago. Hold on, I can tell you. I can look in here and tell you real quick. I can tell you when I first was booked for this here. Today is the 7th. I was booked on this on the 7th. So that was Tuesday. So on Tuesday, I got the order and I confirmed it at 6:42 in the evening on the 7th for today, to be done today at 10 a.m. So it wasn't last minute for me, but it became last minute for someone else. Why? Because they had something come up, whether it was emergency or but something came up, and it had to get pushed back. And guess what? Somebody became a last minute notary, and I couldn't do it because I had a 2 o'clock already, and they wanted to do it between 2 and 2:30. I couldn't do it. I couldn't accommodate them. Okay. It happens. Things happen like that from time to time. All right. So let's see here. The next one is one word or two. All right. Delays at the courthouse, at the title office, or the title, at the records people. Delays at the courthouse because sometimes they have to do tax assessments and things of that nature. They have to respond back to title for deed checking and all of that kind of stuff, and making sure there's no other liens and stuff like that. So there can sometimes be delays of them getting back, the correct property tax assessment from the courthouse. So it might not be the courthouse where you go in there and see the judge, but I just use courthouse as a general term. So at the courthouse, the deeds record people, there could be delays there, okay? Because they also do a deed check and they do liens checks and they make sure, and there could be a delay in that. Systems could be down or whatever. And because of that happened, instead of it being done 2 days ago, it ends up getting done today. And now they gotta rush and get everything put together. And guess what? Now you gotta close today at 2 o'clock, and we just got the word that we can do this at 12:30. It is what it is. Okay. So this next issue is now this one, signers slow responding to title or lender. What do I mean by that? There are sometimes the title company, the lenders, the signers. Okay, let's back up. The underwriter tells, the lender said, hey, we need this loan done. The underwriter tells the lender, hey, we need to find out information about ... employment verification, this, that, or the other. The title company says, hey, we found out that there's some kind of tax thing that you didn't pay this here part of the property tax, or there's some this, that, and the other going on, or some court case. And the signer has to go get that stuff straight and let them know. Sign off on documents. Let's say they send them the CD. Well, they can't process the thing because the person got to sign off and say, yeah, I'll look at the CD, because they get 3 days to review it. Come the third day. So let's just say it was done on Friday. So they got Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and then they're like, okay, we want to close on Tuesday, but they don't get to them until 2 o'clock Tuesday, and that's the last day of the rate lock. Guess what? The signers gotta rush to get this thing closed, and the signer's like, okay, yeah, I'm ready to close. So there have been times where the signer has been slow responding to the title company or the lender. They asked them questions and they were slow in responding to them. Hey, can you do employment verification? We need you to sign this and have your employer sign it. Okay, I'll get it done. And then it takes forever. Or they go out of town, or whatever the case may be. So there's all kinds of things that can happen with that right there. So the signers, and then one of the other things is closing costs. Hey, do you have your cashier's check? Oh yeah, we're gonna get to that. Yeah, we're gonna get that. Or hey, you need to wire it because we don't take cashier's checks. So please wire the closing funds. Yeah. I'm gonna get to it. And then here it is, the day of closing, and there's no cashiers, there's no wire. They didn't wire the money. Well, we can't close. And then all of a sudden, they finally decide to wire the money. And then they say, well, we can't process and go forward until we see that it hit the account. And all of a sudden at 4:59, before the bank closes, it hits the account. Or they find out that it hits the account after the fact, there might be a delay or whatever, and they find out after, but the signer's like, well, look, I work the night shift, so I'm already to work, so I can't close today. Now they got to close tomorrow. And they say, well, I can close at 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So now they got to scramble to get a notary for 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. You see how this works? Let me see what my comments say. Most of my closings, over 90%, are last minute closing here in New York. This is how this business is, and either you take it or lose out on income. That is correct. And see, one of the things, and we'll go to this last one is a big one too. See, that's the thing. Real business owners, and yes, I'm calling some of these folk not real business owners. Real business owners grow into recognizing the ebb and flow of what the business they're in. They start seeing the patterns and noticing, okay, I need to make this adjustment and that adjustment. You start planning for the worst, hoping for the best, and taking advantage of the best and walking in the best when it comes. Okay, this can happen here, this can happen there. So for a person who fixes fence, the worst for them, the best time for them is the worst time for you, when the winds and rains come and blow down your fence. But then the worst time for them is the best time, when it's not summertime and there's no rain. Well, that fence guy got to figure out something to do to keep business flowing in. They have to figure something out. Maybe drive around and look and see, hey, okay, I see your fence pole, your fence is a little weathered. Hey, look, I got some extra lumber here. How about I just come in and just fix this one panel here, because it's not all the way down, but I can see it's getting loose. Some of the boards are flipped over this way instead of that way. How about I come in and do that. And then that's another way he's bringing in at least a little bit of money, something, and connecting with people and marketing, letting people know that, hey, I'm here for you. Mind if I put a sign in your yard for about 3 days, just a week, so people know that, hey, I took care of your fence issue. That's another way. So in other words, entrepreneurs find ways to make money. W-2 minded people get into business ventures and try to run it like it's their job. And they want everybody in the business, or who they have to associate in the business, to operate like it's a job. So they'll feel comfortable and feel like they're the smartest person in the room. But when you operate like an entrepreneur, you realize, there's a lot more I need to know. So now, say, oh my God, Aline, do you dive and take public transportation? So curious. That's a good question. All right. So now this last reason, these are the reasons that I've come across over the years, is and I guarantee you, nobody thought about this as a reason why they last minute. The signers finally agree to loan terms. There was something in there I don't like, and this, that, and the other. And they're like, okay, here's the terms. You cool with it? They got to sign off on it. Not just signing off on the CD, but there's other terms in there for cash to close that they have to bring, or when they can move in, or when they have to move out. If they're selling, they're like, okay, well, if you're going to do it, then you got to move out. Or we don't have another place, or we do, but we ain't ready to, whatever. There's all these little things, and they finally agreed to the terms of the loan. And then it's like, okay, now we can close. We can close now. And then they're looking for a notary. And sometimes it's at the last minute. Sometimes people do this kind of stuff on purpose. Signers, they will do stuff like this on, I was looking, I thought I had some water up here. I drank all my water. Throat getting all dry now. And I don't have any of my lozenges. Man, I ain't got that. Okay. I ain't got no water. It's in the bedroom. But that's one of the things. So now, can somebody tell me what have you seen? Y'all saw what I put up there. What are your thoughts on these issues or these reasons that I said could be the reason for last minute closing? Because in order for there to be a last minute closing, something in most cases had to have happened to cause it to do that. Something had to happen. And those are just 8 different reasons that I put out there to say, hey, these are reasons can happen. It could be, could not be. Who knows? But there's all kinds of things going on out here that can cause something to happen last minute. Now, the big question is, and I've talked about this, that's why I did in a video from the other day, playlists of all the different videos I talked about last minute closing. The question is, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do to be able to take advantage of it? Because here's the thing. I'm not even going to ask the question, what are you going to do to change it, or what do you propose to change it? Because there's over 22,000 title companies in America. How are you going to make all 22,000 acquiesce to your will? How are you going to do that? You can't. You're not going to get the lenders to bend to your will. You're not. So what do you got to do? You got to find a way to attack this thing and make it work for you. That's the question. What are you going to do as the entrepreneur? See, I'm talking to you as an entrepreneur because that's what you're supposed to be. But you're whining out and everything like a little W-2, hoping your boss will give you a 0.5% pay raise this year like he did last year. Then entrepreneurs, we find a way. So I saw the pattern. I saw the trend changing to the last minute. And I was like, okay, what am I have to do? I got my double printers. I got all my gear, everything together. I got plenty of paper, toner. I got all of my infrastructure stuff together. So I'm like, okay, I can rock and roll. I can go. Had a conversation with the family, get my logistics together, all of that. I got my scanner, everything. If I need to take a printer out with me, I can, but really there's no need to. All I got to do, I got the time that I can come back home and all of that. When I was working full time, that's when I really used one of these printers. Well, the other one's done gone, but I used a printer, took it with me during the fall time when it was winter time, nice and cool. So I didn't have to run all the way back home. I could be out there. So I had my printer, my scanner, everything. Y'all saw the videos on my channel about that. So I found a way to be ready for them. And then I went and did it. Once I became full time, there was really no need for me to carry printers with me. I need a scanner. So I would go out and I would have my scanner with me and I could be gone all day because for whatever reason, once I went full time, over 90% of the time, probably close to 95, when I have multiple signings in a day, I actually get all the documents the day before. I actually do have the documents the day before. Even though it was just, they say, hey, at 8 o'clock at night, I got one at 8 in the morning, the documents are there. But then the documents that come a little bit later for them same day ones, it's no big deal. Now, here's the thing. I know people are complaining about there's a 3 o'clock signing and I got the notification at 2 o'clock. Okay, let's use some common sense here. You already know you're not going to get there by 3. So all you can do is call the signers. How you doing? This is Griffin Notary Services. I see that they have us scheduled to meet at 3 o'clock. It's 2 o'clock and I don't have your documents yet. So are you going to be okay? Or do you have something else that you have to get to? Because clearly, I'm probably not going to be able to make it there by 3, but I can more likely be there by 3:30 if they get me the documents within this amount of time. I print and then I come over there to you. They're either going to say yay or nay. So what time will better work for you? Well, actually, now that you said 4:30 will work better for me. Now the question is, are you available to meet them there at 4:30? So now your last minute signing that you had an hour to get ready for, you wound up now having an hour and a half or 2.5 hours to get there. You see what I'm saying? Just using a little common sense, because at the end of the day, as long as it gets done before midnight, everybody's good. So you're trying to be so anal retentive in this, and you're not thinking like, wait a minute, I'm getting the thing at 2 o'clock. They're saying Doc's coming. Is it my fault that I'm late? No, because I don't have what I need to go do it. Even if I had the printer in my car and I drove there, by the time I get there, I still may not have the document. So is it my fault? No. So what can I do? As somebody said earlier, control what happens with me, control how I deal with the situation. How do I deal with the situation? Be ready to rock and roll when I get the documents. Have a plan. Go ahead on and map out 2 or 3 different routes to get there. See, we're not thinking. But what we're doing is we're getting on YouTube and telling everybody and fussing and telling the daggone signing companies, I speak on behalf of all notaries. You don't speak on behalf of me. Man, woman, young, old, black, white, I don't care who you are. You ain't speaking on my behalf. Because I'm handling my own. Speak on your behalf. Come up with a solution and stop complaining about something that you can't even control. It's nobody's fault that you or me or whoever cannot go do these last minute signings. If I can't, that's on me. This business is not going to change for you or for me. This is the way it is. And then we just merge into it. Traffic don't slow down for you when you try. Very rarely does traffic slow down on the highway when you're trying to get on. You got to time it and merge on. The problem is you don't want to merge. You just want to make everybody else stop and let me creep on the highway and then go. And then take my time and then speed up. No, we ain't got time for that. Either you're a mover or a shaker, or you just get out of the way. It's that simple. You either go with the flow or you just go somewhere. I understand. I can't say they understand. I understand. You got a job, you got a spouse, you got kids, you got cats, dogs, squirrels, and anything else. You got family members you're taking care of. You got family drama that you're dealing with that you don't want to deal with. You got a job. You got all of this stuff. You got 2-3 jobs. You got all, and you came into a business because somebody you listened to on YouTube, TikTok, or Instagram said you can make all this money, and now you're finding out you can't. Why? Because the business doesn't bend to you. It hasn't stopped and said, "Oh, Shaquanda is in the business. Earl is in the business. Let me, hey, sir, we got this new notary here, and they can only do closings from 2 to 4 in the afternoon. So we're going to push everything to that time period, okay? I know we got other notaries who can do it whenever, but we're not going to give it to them. We're going to give it to Shaquanda so that she can get these things done between 2 and 4, okay? All right, sir. Hey, sir, update. We just got a new guy named Keith. Yeah, Keith says he can only do closings from 5 to 6:30 at night. So we're going to push all the closings down to that. Shaquanda's just going to have to figure something out. But we're going to give all the closings now to Keith, who can only do them between 5 and 6:30, okay? All right, sir, no problem. Thank you for your support. Ain't nobody going to do that for your behind. You didn't do the due diligence. You listened to somebody fluffing you up with a bunch of BS and took your money for some BS training. And now you out here giving signing companies all kinds of problems, title companies all kinds of problems, because you don't understand the business and you wanted the business to work for you when you felt like it. You wanted the business to work when your kid was doing nap time. Your dogs was at doggy daycare. Your cats was at the kitty carnival. That's when you wanted closings at that time. And it ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen because guess who sets the closing time? The title and the signer. And they don't know anything about you. Do you realize that doing the mobile notary business is that they're randomly getting a notary? Randomly getting a notary, which means they know nothing about your behind. So if they're randomly getting a notary, what makes you think they're concerned about when you specifically have the ability to do it? They said the order goes out, who's available? I'm available. Therefore, you can either do it or not do it. But no, you want to sit here and get in your little Facebook groups, whining and complaining about every little thing and say, we need to stop this. We need to make them stop and respect us, because how dare they actually conduct business that is opposite of my W-2 mindset? That is where you're at right now. And I'm going to tell you straight up, I'm going to speak on behalf of some real notaries out here. They tired of hearing your mouth because you're just stirring up stuff. I'm not speaking on behalf of all notaries, just a few. Real skoshi, Japanese for small. You don't really want to do this business. You don't care about this business. You don't. And I'm going to prove it to you. Let me go find that video. I'm going to prove it to you. You don't care. You really, really, really don't care. Here we go. Let me pull this up for y'all. Y'all listen to this. Turn your volume up.
When we work hard for something we don't believe in, it's called stress. When we work hard for something we do believe in, it's called passion. It's nothing to do with how many hours we're working. It's whether we believe in the thing we're working to advance or not. Any organization or leader that has any ambition of playing with an infinite mindset, they have to offer themselves and their people a cause so just that their people would want to join. When we work hard for something we don't believe in, it's called stress. When we work hard for something we do believe in, it's called passion. It's nothing to do with how many hours we're working. It's whether we believe in the thing we're working to advance or not. Any organization or leader that has any ambition of playing with an infinite mindset, they have to offer themselves and their people a cause so just that their people would want to join. When we
You see, now he's talking about from more so of an employer standpoint, but y'all, some of y'all don't love this business. You have no passion or desire for it. You just want the money that so-and-so told you. Thought I was gonna say their name. You thought because you heard what so-and-so said, and they had all of these people up here bragging about all this money, and you said, that's what I want. I want that money. And you ain't getting it. And all the people, in my opinion, who are whining and complaining the most, as I said earlier, are people who have spent the most to be in this business. Prove it to you. Prove it to you. Prove it to you. I didn't have a chance to do a to send it to myself, but I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna read it, and I don't care if they know who they are. I'm not gonna say their name, but I'm going to read it. And here it is. So this was in a Facebook group. Okay, I'm not saying nobody's name, but I'm going to read. Basically, somebody said they got their first signing, and apparently their printer wasn't working. It was a $40. They had $40 at, oh wow, they spent $40 at Staples to print and an hour to go over the documents, to flag the signatures and initials, with 30 minutes each way driving and up to 45 minutes to sign. Definitely, I see why there is a need to charge more. This is one for experience. Now, here, okay. See, I thought when I first saw this, I thought they were saying they got paid $40. Well, here's the thing. This is why you gotta be ready. You got to be ready to rock and roll. See, they're not going to compensate you for something you're supposed to have, because in that independent contractor agreement, it says you're responsible for all the costs of printing. So if you don't have your printer together and you got to run to Staples, guess what? That's on you. So you can't say that the fee was low. I remember a young lady called me, sweet young lady. I think she was up in New York, New Jersey, somewhere out there. She got an order for $125 and said that wasn't enough because she had to go print. She didn't even own a printer. She had to go print documents at the Office Max or FedEx or one of those, and it cost her basically her whole signing fee. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? But then what's tripping is that the person comments on this here and says, I wish notaries would stop charging or accepting low fees. It hurts the rest of us trying to get higher fees. There's nothing I'm doing to stopping you from getting a higher fee. If a company that comes to you before or after they come to me and they see that you have something of quality to offer them and they see the value in it, that it's worth what you say you charge, then they'll pay. If they don't see it, maybe it's you, maybe the way you come across, maybe your vibe, your energy is telling them they're screwing me over. Or they may not just understand because of their lack of experience. They may not understand the value. Maybe they have a small W-2 mindset as the client, signing company, whoever that wants your services. But you can't blame everybody else. You can't blame other people for your inability to find a way to get the money that you feel you deserve. Everybody's always talking about pay me what I'm worth. Okay, then go get paid what you worth. But don't ask me to help you get paid, because that's what you're saying here. So it says we have to carry insurance. We have to be certified. We have to keep educating ourselves. We have to stay on top of rules and laws. And on top of all of that, we make it easy by driving to and from. Cost of doing business, people. You thought this business was going to, after you paid your $700 and then your $28.95 or whatever you're paying for your Facebook group membership and paying all your other little fees and stuff to be a part of the Get Fresh crew and the Cool Kids Club, you thought there wasn't going to be any other expenses? You thought you could actually do this business and just only pay that to get in it? And then like this, see, that's what people think is network marketing. And that's why so many people be pushing those affiliate links, because the affiliate links is paying them so they can use that money to pay for the business. But then guess what? Nobody ain't clicking on your affiliate link like that, because it's oversaturated with affiliate links to some crappy course out there. And people are realizing that course ain't teaching me anything. That's a whole nother topic right there. How are we just charging 40? And see, now that I look at this even closer, the person didn't say they was charging 40. They said they had to pay 40 to print. How are these signing companies offering 20 for a HELOC? Because they can, because maybe the company don't know how to negotiate. Sometimes people don't know how to negotiate. All of these W-2 minded people done hopped over into this business and they don't know how to negotiate properly for fees. They don't know how to do any of that. Oh, okay. That was just my wife sending me some emails for her calendar. We have a shared calendar, so we keep track of what we got going on. For 100 plus pages, I haven't seen too many HELOCs that's over 100 pages. Now I got one tomorrow, but that's because it's 2 loans combined into one, or combine 2 loans into this one closing. We have to be on the same page and stick to charging a higher rate and not deviate from that. We have to be on the same page. When did this become a group thing? When did it? We have to be on the same page. Who the heck are you that I need to be on any page with? We all can't fit on this page. We can't fit on this page. Most of us, the page that we're dealing with is this size. Some of us, the page is that size. Huh? I mean, the craziness. We all need to be on the same page. Who are you? I don't know you. See, I shared this with y'all before, and those of you who've been following me, you understand what I'm about to say here. And you know I've said this. These people are complaining because they're trying to get you riled up for something that they have a lack of, a deficiency in their life. And they don't have the ability to go out there and make it happen for themselves. So they want this group dynamic of, we're all going to do it together. That's what they want. Reminds me of a particular day in January that happened. I'm not trying to be political, but I remember something happened where people was like, we all need to get them. And then next thing you know, you have this huge mess. I'm not saying they was right or wrong. I have not even studied it or looked into it. But all I know is on a particular day in January, a couple of years ago, a group of people decided we need to do something because somebody said, I think they're screwing us over. Don't you? Yeah, let's get them. And that's the same thing happened here. I think they're doing something bad to us. What are they doing bad? Well, they're not paying us. And see, okay, well, what are they paying? This is okay. Well, how much work do you have to do to actually do it? Well, I mean, I just print the pages and then I go and just sign a stamp. Okay. Well, how much time do you have to spend with the customer? Oh, maybe about 45 minutes. Okay. And how much money do you spend in getting the customer? Well, I don't have to get the customer. Somebody else does that. Okay. Who puts the paper? Well, somebody else puts the paperwork together. Okay. And if there's a problem, well, somebody else handles it. They call them and talk to them. So what do? Well, I just stand there and watch them sign and stamp. And how much you want to get? Oh, man, they need to pay me at least $400 because of all the education that I have to keep getting. Okay, well, what education do you have to keep getting? What are you actually being educated in? Because if you're being educated in how to notarize, Somebody done gypped you, because how many people? There you go. There you go. Boom. There you go. Right there. See, folk don't realize. See, I done did videos about this. But you think about it. You think about it. It's like, what are you being educated in? Because the vast majority of notaries out here don't even know how to notarize properly. A whole lot of notaries don't know how to be professional. I'm gonna share something with y'all. I got a company right now that they told me they're not going to allow me to do a certain type of loan closings for them anymore. And the reason why is because and it wasn't their client, the signing company's client had a document in there, and that document specifically said that I'm signing it saying that I explained some document to them about this person's obligation for this loan. That's what it says. It says it from top to bottom. That the purpose of this thing is that you have been, the closing disclosure has been explained to you, the repayment, whatever agreement has been explained to you, and by me signing it, I'm saying that I did that. Well, my state law says I can't explain documents that I don't have the proper training for, and I don't have training for them. So I didn't sign the document. The document goes back. I get email saying, hey, you need to sign this. The signing company says that's what the title people said. I look at the document again, and I told them this is why I didn't sign it. They said, let me go look into it. They looked into it, which I was very appreciative that they did. And then they came back and said, oh, well, what they said that what this document really means is that you just showed it to them. Now, at that point, I was like, you are saying they said this document means something else from what I read. But yet, everybody who has read this document, you and all of them, all agree. All right, babe. Okay. I got to talk softer, y'all. Pull the mic a little bit closer. I got to talk a little softer. So now, everybody's saying, can read the document and say, well, yes, this is what the document is saying, but you're telling me, oh, but what it means is something completely different. Well, there's nothing in the document that indicates that all it means is that I just showed them this document. It says that I explained verbally. It even said the word verbally. So I'm sitting here like, how can I do this? So what I did was, and I wasn't expecting them to kick me off of these type of orders, but correct. And then here's the crazy part. Apparently, the person had already signed the document. They signed that particular type of document ahead of time. And I said, well, why don't the person who showed them that document and explained it to them e-sign this document instead of having me? Now, they had them sign it twice, once prior to closing and then once at the closing with me. And apparently, whenever they signed that document, there's another form in there that the person who gave them the document has to sign saying they explained it to them. I can't do that because my state law specifically says that. And I got videos out here a couple of weeks ago, that a month or so ago, where I talked about that. So what I did was I just wrote a statement on this. I signed it, dated it, all of that, but I put a statement on there basically, and I'm just summarizing that I'm only signing this to denote that I did not explain the document, but I only showed them the document, and that I didn't explain any closing disclosures or repayment terms to so and so and so and so. So I put that on there because I wanted it to be clear that I didn't do what this document said that I did, because if something comes up, and since it's dealing with them paying the loan off or back, which is all paying the loan back and all that, and if they renege and they say, well, I don't know what you're talking about, And they said, well, there's this document that says it was explained to you, because that's what the document says. What would a judge read? The judge reads it as what it says. The document was explained to you, and Stephen Griffin did that. Hey, did you? No, I didn't do it. So if I signed it just as is, I can't go back to the judge and say, well, they said, because there's a thing that they have in these loan packages called no oral agreement, meaning you signed this saying that there are no oral agreements. In other words, any agreement that is between you and the lender, or you and the title, whoever, is in writing. And there's nothing in writing that says this is what that document meant. It meant something different than what was written in it. So they hit me back and said, we won't put you on those orders anymore because you have an issue, or you have trouble with doing. I don't have a problem doing the document if it's correct. I have a problem with breaking my state law. That's the problem. I have no problem with that document because that document wasn't for me in the first place, because it didn't say anything about a notary. It said a closing agent, and I'm not the closing agent. But I respect that they had this conversation with me. They explained their viewpoint and what they thought and how they felt about it. And I was like, okay, I got it. And I was like, this is what I'm gonna have to do, because, and I was really, what I was thinking was that maybe they would turn around and put an addendum in there and say, okay, well, on the top part, this is for the closing agent. And since you're not the closing agent, at the bottom, there's something that says, statement that says, I, the notary, signing this, saying that I presented said document to them and gave them an opportunity to read ... but that I didn't explain anything, because at the end of the day, even though that might have been that state's law, my state law doesn't support me doing that. And that's the thing that has to be respected. Okay. But I understand that these companies like, well, we don't want to use him no more, because if you're going to do this, nah. And I get that, but I'd rather be tossed out than to do something and end up being tossed in the lockup. You see what I'm saying? So that's the hard part. And as a true entrepreneur, sometimes you got to stand up for what you definitively know what is correct, even though other people. And then the part that sort of threw me off a little bit was that the person never, and that's when I sent the document back, I signed it, and put my statement. I sent my state law to them that said ... and they didn't even say anything about it. They didn't even acknowledge that they received it, which I know they got it because I put that first. Combine the PDF and put my state law part first, and then the document they wanted me to sign. So they had to see it. And sometimes you have to take a stand that'll put you out there in the cold. But there are companies out there who respect that and who's like, hey, you know what? We like that you follow your state laws, and we appreciate that, because that keeps them out of trouble. And that's the whole point of being a notary, is to prevent fraud. So you can't prevent fraud if you're a part of fraud, okay? Doing fraudulent things that you're not allowed to do. And fraud doesn't necessarily mean that you're trying to defraud anybody, but you're doing it fraudulently, meaning you're not allowed to do something. So you really have to be careful out here. And listening to people complain about last minute signings, and you're going to, and you signing company, y'all need to pay us more. Why? What are we really doing that deserves to be paid $200, $300, $400? I'm not saying we can't get paid, but any financial planner, let's put it this way. If all of a sudden the signing company, or let's say the title company, all of a sudden has an increased expenditure from $85 a signing to $200 a signing, and they don't have the same, and they don't have an increase in revenue coming in, what do you think their accountant is going to say? because for the title company to pay us more, they got to get more from the lender. And to get more from the lender, that means they got to charge more to the signers or the builders or whoever is paying the closing costs. And then the question becomes, what's the justification for this here increase? Well, the notary said they wanted more money. Okay, notary, what did the notary bring? Well, the notary just doing what they've been doing. And they're saying that they need $200, and what are they giving us for $200? Well, the notary, I mean, they always late and they can't scan straight, and they're always trying to print two-sided and email it. You see what I'm saying? All of these bad habits that notaries have, but you want to be paid like you the flawless notary. And you're not. You're nowhere near at all. So listening to people complain about last minute signings, why can't you do a last minute signing? What have you done to put yourself in that position? And if you're unable to do so, then let it be. That's like a woman complaining about she can't find a good man. Well, what are you doing to find a good man? Every time you go out, you're looking like, ugh. Dude, what are you doing to find a good woman? Every time you go out, you're looking like, ugh. You ain't got no job. You still with your mama and them. You got 6 baby mamas. You live in a rundown trailer park. You speaking broken English 5 times over. You worried about spending money on your nails and hair and going to every type of cruise out there. You on drugs. I mean, all of this stuff you're doing, what are you doing? You see what I'm saying? You're not carrying yourself right. So it's like, I ain't giving you, no. So you're asking people to give you something and you're not bringing anything to the table. And what more can we bring to the table? And this is where the issue comes in. What that person talking about, well, we getting educated and we got to stay on top of law. That's a part of being an entrepreneur. That's a business expense that you can write off. Well, no, I need to get paid for that. So you rather just keep charging people more and more and more. So that really, and this is what I said before, many times, people are trying to overcharge so they can keep paying these notary trainers and these mentors and coaches money. If you have enough, I think most people will have enough money from doing the signings and the apostille and stuff. They will have the money to just live a basic good life. But they want to be in the in crowd. And the in crowd stuff costs money. So what they're trying to do is get you riled up to say, we need more money. So they can have more money to spend with those suckers and pay them their little Facebook fees. And it's like, I'm not trying to make money just to pay somebody a Facebook fee. To be in a little happy-go-lucky group that they won't answer a question when I ask them in the group. Hey, notary trainer guru person. Oh, just post it in the thing. I can't answer that. So you can't answer, but you got 10 times more experience than the people in the group, but you want me to listen to what they say? And you got the experience, but if you can't explain it, then how can they explain it? I'm just here to pass on information and just to be a conduit to, just to connect people at $28.85 a month. That's all I'm here to do. That's all I'm here to do. That's all. For $28.85 a month, I will connect you with all kinds of people who can't give you good advice at all. But you'll be in the cool kids club for $28.85. I'm telling you, that's a deal. That's a deal. You know what? I got a better deal. Midnight. Everything that I have is 55% off because ain't nobody buying it any daggone way. But guess what? You can buy it for 50. You know what? 85% off because I like you. I don't know you and I don't care nothing about you. But for 85% off, you could be in the cool kids club. And everybody who paid full price will be so mad at you. But guess what? They still won't leave me. They're going to keep paying me because They think I look good. They think I'm smooth. They think I'm cute. They think I got the inroads on, and I just keep them entertained, bragging about all of the stuff I got that they'll never get. Mm-mm-mm. For $28.85 and 85% off of all of my unproven, unrealistic course material. And I don't care if anybody likes that or not, because this is what's going on. And if anybody need, and if anything needs to be spoken up about, it's that BS right there. Because y'all know there's some crooks out here in this notary game, and nobody won't speak up there. See, this is what's crazy. The crooks want us to speak up about getting higher fees, but nobody won't say nothing about the crooks. The lenders won't, the title company won't, the signing companies won't, the notaries won't. But then they want to complain about bad notaries, but you got crooks out here pulling bad notaries in here. You got crooks advertising this business as something that they can just make all this money off of. And then you're sitting here like, why am I dealing with all of these bad notaries? Because nobody's saying anything. Nobody's dealing with them. I don't want to stop somebody from making their money, but it's costing you money. It's costing you money. Where did that come from? It says some of these folks project such entitlement, saying things like, I'm not leaving my house. Yeah. I'm still waiting for him to connect me to New York notaries. That was 4 years ago when I started. It's a great car salesman. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And the bad part is over 90% of the people out here in this business see that. But because you're more concerned about how you can get your $20,000, $30,000 a month, you're willing to overlook the clear shysterness of these men and women out here. And you're thinking that, okay, out of the 1,500 of us that's getting screwed over, I'm going to get screwed over less. And I'll be able to make all my money back. Let that sink in. Next, let's move on. Don't understand that. But that's the thing. So we got to find a way within ourselves to trust and believe in ourselves and to understand that we have it in us to do this business. Let me play this for y'all.
The biggest enemy of success, I would say there's probably 3 enemies of success.
Yeah.
The first big enemy is the comfort zone. But the comfort zone is where people become comfortable doing what they're doing and they don't like to change, even if the change can be positive or beneficial. The second thing that holds people back is what is called learned helplessness. This is where people feel, I can't do it. And the third enemy is what we call the path of least resistance, which is always looking for an easy way to achieve a result. Everything worthwhile requires a long period of hard work with many failures along the way. The biggest enemy of success, I would say there's probably 3 enemies of success.
Yeah.
The first big enemy is the comfort zone. But the comfort zone is where people become comfortable doing what they're doing and they don't like to change, even if the change can be positive or beneficial. The second thing that holds people back is what is called learned helplessness. This is where people feel, I can't do it. And the third enemy is what we call the path of least resistance, which is always looking for an easy way to achieve a result. Everything worthwhile requires a long period of hard work with many failures along the way. The biggest...
I honestly think most of you get it. Whether you're willing to step out there as an individual within your own business and do what you know you need to do that's correct, that's the biggest challenge. Sometimes you got to walk this thing by yourself. Sometimes you got to be alone in it. Let me see if I can find this other one that I think y'all will like. And that is a hard thing for some people to do. It's very, very hard for some people to do, to just sometimes walk alone, be by yourself. And and have success. Sometimes you can have more success by yourself than connecting yourself with certain people or certain crowds. Take a listen to this, y'all.
The person that challenged you to be uncomfortable is the person that loves you the most. But you've been told for many years that the person that loves you the most is the person that accepts you for who you are. How can I love you when I know there's more that you can do, but I don't push you? That can't be love. There's healthy ways of challenging. People need it. There are tons of people that don't see they can do more. They've accepted their fate. So they only attach themselves to anybody that accept them for being who they are. The reason why you lose is because you accepted who you are. The person.
And listen to this.
I've told you 3 times already today.
Why are you so tough on people?
Well, I don't know if that's fair, that I'm really tough on people. We create a standard for how we want to do things. And everybody's got to buy into that standard, or you really can't have any team chemistry. You know, mediocre people don't like high achievers, and high achievers don't like mediocre people.
I've told you 3 times.
Now listen to this.
See, what people have to understand is starting a business means being broke for a little while. Don't think starting a business means automatically I'm rich. It means you're going to get tested. It's not for everybody, this grind. It's not meant to be easy. If you cry every time or you're upset every time there's a challenge, you're not a boss. A boss's job is to fix problems. See, what people have to understand is starting a business means being broke for a little while. Don't think starting a business means automatically I'm rich. It means you're going to get tested. It's not for everybody, this grind. It's not meant to be easy. If you cry every time or you're upset every time there's a challenge, you're not a boss. A boss's job is to fix problems.
Now, you tell me, with all of the fussing and whining and complaining about notary, the prices, the docs, got to scan, last minute signings, none of these folk in their dissertation about these concerns have ever, far as I know, and from what I've seen and what I've been told, have ever come up with a solution to those issues. They're just saying, you who's creating the issue for me, or what I perceive as an issue, even though you don't, you need to fix it. I am sick and tired of you giving me last minute signings. You need to fix that. I'm sick and tired of being paid this dollar amount that you want to pay me. Fix it. But they're not coming to bringing anything to the table to say, hey, here's a solution and here's what can be done. Well, matter of fact, before I can even bring a solution, why do you pay us this way? Why do you have last minute signings? What is going on that's creating this thing? Maybe they don't like it, but they're so in it, they can't figure it out. Where's the solution? Nobody's coming with a solution except to say, we notaries need to band together and force them, going against federal law, and force them to pay us such and such. And then we'll all be happy. Will we really be happy? Because guess what? If they change the fees to $150 for every single closing out there, no matter what it is, there's going to be somebody that says, I need more. There's going to always be somebody that says, I need more. But when people change the fee and say, pay me more, the requirement and what they want for paying you more is going to increase. And if you can't handle what we're being asked to do now, what makes you think you're going to be able to handle even more responsibility? You don't even want to print the documents correctly. You don't even want to scan the documents. All of a sudden, because somebody's paying you $150, oh yeah, well, you know what? Some of you don't even know how to print and scan properly. Cutting the pages off, all of that. I done told y'all time and time again, when you download a document, print it from Adobe, open it up in Adobe. But what do? You click on that thing and you open it up in your web browser, and it cuts off all your legal pages. Oh, wow. Griff, you need to do a video. I've already done a video on this. But you're not looking at the videos. You're spending more time listening to these folk whine and complain and be like, and have your little tiki torch. Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And guess what? It ain't putting a dime in your pocket. The crazy thing is, all of this whining and complaining that these folk are doing, I haven't heard them talk about an increase. I'm doing 70, 80 closes a month. What did I do this week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18 this week. What my goal is? 18 to 22. I admit I'm not making the same dollar amount. I got, but at least one goal I got, 18 to 22. And if things change and they start bringing them dollar amounts back, I'm good because I'm confident and I'm confident and comfortable in doing my 18 to 22 a week. What are they doing? What example are they leading by? They're not. They're just complaining that it's not easy for them. They're complaining that they actually got to adjust, and maybe their spouse won't help them. That can happen. Maybe their kid needs special attention. That's understandable. But you can't complain and say, you need to adjust this business to my needs so that I can do things on my terms. You're like, why should we do that? It's like, you see what I'm saying? And again, from being random notaries in a pool, and they all of a sudden they pick you, and you're like, yeah, I want to grab the right. Let me grab this. I don't want to be accused of putting up the wrong finger. And they grab you, and you like, yay! Now that 2 o'clock closing, I'm going to move it to 6 o'clock because man don't get out of daycare until 4:30, and I need time to get him home and drop him off to Big Mama's and this, that, and the other, and fix some food, and leave that in the oven for my kids and this, that, and the other. And then I do the, plus I can't get off because I got a WebEx at 2:15 at my job. So I'm gonna take this 2 o'clock, but I'm not gonna do it till 6. If you can't do it, you can't do it. And I know most people have spent a lot of money to get in this business, a whole lot of money to get in this business, and they want that money back. And the sad part is just they don't realize that the person who talked them into getting in this business have no control over how this business is ran. The people who talked you into being in this business have no control over how it's ran and executed on a day-to-day basis. But if they are able to do closing, because some of these trainers out here are no longer able to do notary work for whatever reason, from what I've been hearing out here in the streets, guess what? When they were doing notary work, they adjusted. They adjusted and did what they had to do to make the money. Maybe they need a different source for getting business versus sitting on their law. Yeah. That's the thing. See, this business will really test you and ask, and you'll be like, man, I gotta go what? I gotta drive where? But you know what? Some of the most difficult and most uncomfortable closings have produced the best results for me. They have. I've met some wonderful people, and those people have turned out to be folk that will call me when they need other notary work. a power of attorney the other day. I didn't even charge the guy. I didn't even charge him. I can see that, he had the money, but it's just something that told me don't charge him. But guess what? I got blessed with money that same day. I got blessed with more than what I was going to charge him. I was going to charge him the basic state fee. It was going to probably cost him about $35. I got blessed with more. And I appreciate that. And I wasn't even looking for it. I was just like, hey, you know what? I did the thing for the man and somebody blessed me. So as I was a blessing, see, these people don't understand about being a blessing. All they understand is they just want the blessings for them. And then they want to be able to brag on YouTube about, I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Yeah, man. I be getting looked out for. Yo, dog, I be getting. But do you look out for people? Well, they pay me. I'll look out for them. Do you look out for people? They don't look out for people. They just want clicks and views. And it's sad. But y'all are going to have, look, y'all going to have to make a decision. You got to start asking these folk questions. The decision really, am I going to ask them questions? What is your solution to this problem that you're communicating on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, or wherever? What is the solution? You say we should be getting paid more money. Okay, well, how do we go about doing that? How much more should we be getting paid? Is it a flat fee for everything? Or is it a variable fee depending upon the number of pages? And who set this? And who was the one who said that a notary should minimum amount of or maximum amount of pages that should be printed by any notary is $75? That if you pay me, 75 pages, where's all this coming from? So you got to start asking them questions. See, the thing is, y'all don't ask questions. People ask me about what the person said, but I'm like, what did you ask them? Did you ask them why did they say what they said? What is their solution? How do they fix it? How do you get all notaries to get on the same page as you when all notaries aren't listening to you? You're just in a Facebook group complaining. But how do you get all notaries to get on your side? And is your side right for them? Because the side that you have is right for you. And you want everybody to get on your side so that it can be beneficial for you. But the question is, and we know how people are, once they get the benefit that they've been looking for, they done with you. And what makes any of these people trustworthy enough that you can go and all in and say, you know what, I'm gonna follow this person here. And once they get what they want, once they get the $200, but I didn't get mine yet. Well, hey, look, you just keep working at it. I'm going. I'm telling you, once they get what they want out of this business, they're going. They're gonna leave you. They came in like a thief in the night, and they're gonna leave like a thief in the night. That's what they're doing. Many of y'all know of a story in the Bible about the 5 wise virgins, the 5 foolish. The parable of the 10 virgins. It was 5 foolish, 5 wise, and basically, they had to be prepared for something. They had to be prepared for the bridegroom to come. They had this oil in their lamps. We'll use this helichrysum. This helichrysum, I love. Helichrysum is a good essential oil for scars and stuff. It really, really works. If you got scars, cuts, burns, you put that helichrysum on. I got a cut on my finger. I'm gonna put it on there. It heals it much faster. But we'll pretend like this is the oil in the lamp. And you got your lamp and this, that, and the other. And then here's their lamp, and their lamp is empty. And they want you to give them some of their oil so that they no, I prepared and got my oil for my lamp. You didn't. And that's what these notaries are doing out here. They are not prepared for when closings or whatever come, and they want you to help them at the expense of your own business. That ain't happening. I'm sorry, boo boo, but that ain't happening. You had every opportunity, but you played around. You chose not to do what you had to do. You chose to spend your money with some charlatan because they sounded cute, they looked good, they had pretty hair, they had a nice smile, or whatever the case may be. They claim they got all this money. They claim they have all these accolades from all of these random people. And you said, I would give them my money. And now you have no money to actually do the business. Or you can't even buy a case of paper. All you can do is buy 2 rings once a month and hope that that'll last you. This is where we're at right now. High achievers don't like mediocre people, and mediocre people don't. That is correct. They do not. That is correct. They do not. This is a people business from the beginning. That is correct. Yep, charlatans. What I know is this. This is what I know that's true. If you learn and understand what truth is about any business, and you stand on that truth and you execute that truth, you will be fine and successful in that business. When you're depending on learning the truth that somebody else has, standing on somebody else's truth, executing somebody else's truth, they will become successful and you won't. Because their success, your success is based off of what they do. You're doing everything that they said, and very rarely is it right. You know better than to do what people say, some of these folk tell you to do in your marriage or raising your kids or at your job. But yet you'll listen to them after you done spent $3,000 and you're like, well, I'm gonna just do what they say. Tell me what to do. Okay. And then you go off and go and ain't making no money. I did what you said. And that's why when people call me, I'm very, very careful. Well, just tell me what to do, Griff. No, I don't know you like that. Because if I just tell you what to do and it don't work, how do I know something won't come out of you squeezed by the orange squeeze, orange juice squeeze? You get squeezed by the failure of what I told you to do. And let's say even if I was right, but you didn't execute it properly, you got squeezed, and now you want to blame me. See, I listened to that Griff guy, and look where they got me. You're not going to do me that way. And that's why some people get upset with me when they call and ask me questions, and I don't just get diarrhea of the mouth and just start saying, no, 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 no. Let me ask you some questions. What is this? What is that? Why are you doing this? Where's your mind? Are you doing this full-time or part-time? I've had so many people call me and they're doing this business part-time, but they're acting like they're in it full-time and getting mad because they're not getting closings. And I'm like, okay, so what, you not available at 8 in the morning? Well, no, I'm at work. Oh, you didn't tell me you was at work or I had a job. Well, yeah, I got a job. Actually, I got 2 jobs. Okay, but you're complaining that you're not getting. Well, these other people said they're getting closings. Did you ask them? No, I didn't ask them anything. That's why I'm asking you. I'm like, I'm trying to find out from you, Griff. How do they get these closings? I don't know because I didn't know they was getting closings working 2 jobs that fit their schedule. How about you ask them? Well, man, they busy. Oh, am I not busy? I mean, yeah, you busy, man. But I'm just saying, they seem like they got a lot going on, and I don't want to disturb them. So you want to disturb me about what they're doing, and you really want me to answer it truthfully, what they're doing, give you insight about what they're doing when I don't know what they're doing. This is where we're at. We need notaries. We need people that's going to be notaries and do the job right. And if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you got to be willing to stand up and question people who want to dump information into you, whether free and especially if they want you to pay for it. You got to question them. People question me all the time. I just don't say nothing too much about it, but people question me all the time. And I answer and I talk to them. I'm like, okay. And then they're like, all right, I'm good. Cool. So any questions? Okay, before, I would like to give you any questions about the business, about anything I've said tonight, anything I need to elaborate on, any questions? I still got to do the video answering the guy's question. They gave me a super chat. Super thanks. I got to answer his questions. I got to go back and take time out to do that. So I'm gonna try to do that this weekend. But I do appreciate each and every one of you. I thank y'all for tuning in. I know other YouTubers be having 300, 400, 500 people in there. I'm not looking for that. I'm just looking for people who want to learn the truth, know the truth, that's willing to hold me accountable as well as be held accountable themselves. That's all I'm trying to do. How was my birthday? My birthday was good. I did a couple of closings, house inspections, and I know most people will say, take that time off, don't work. I don't mind working on it because I'm just happy and very appreciative and humbled to be alive to work, to actually be able to go out there and do something that I do love and enjoy. And it brings me, and just honestly, even those like that one signing company, them and the title company threw me in the trash on that particular type of loan deal. That's fine. But guess what? Anything else I do for them, if they want, I'm gonna put my whole heart into it, just like I did this. Me putting even though it didn't turn out the way they wanted, I still put my whole heart into it and doing it correctly and according with my state. I am so happy and I love when I hear signing companies say, hey man, I appreciate what you did for us. I appreciate, you helping us out with this. The same thing from the title companies or the lenders. Even though they don't always agree with me, because I'm going to do everything I can to stay tight with my state laws. But you know what they do? They say, you know what? We got it. We understand. And they keep using me. So it makes me happy to be able to sit there and be in somebody's house, even though it's my birthday, and just have a conversation with them and hear them talk about their grandkids and talk about how happy they are in their life and all of that. Because sometimes these people, they just need somebody to just have a conversation with them and to think and just to just sit there and listen to them and just to be a part of their life for one brief moment. So for me, I enjoy that. And that's why I get so passionate and upset when people come out with these little silly videos and these Facebook posts that is very selfish when there are people hurting out here. Just people out here pulling money, trying to take care of family members, trying to pay off bills and debt that they got themselves into, and they need help. And that's where we come in at. And yes, there are times where I even say, like, man, could get paid more for that. But you know what? I can't control the fact that they didn't negotiate a better deal. It would have been nice, but guess what? They didn't. But what can I do? I can give this person the best notary experience of their life. And that's what I do each and every day that I have an opportunity. This is not hyperbole. This is truly how I am and how I feel. So to any title company, lender, signing company, trainer, whoever, just know that I'm for real about this business and I want other people to be for real. I'm going to point out when I hear stuff about people not being for real, that stuff that y'all doing, but that's your choice. You got to choose how you want to be. And for you title companies and lenders who are out there and signing companies, if you want a real one, you got one right here. And you got Dorinda, you got Ray, you got Dorinda, you got Caprinas, you got Jessica, you got Shanice. Who else you got up in here? Who else we got up in here? McGrady, I don't know how to pronounce that first. I'll be messing the names up. You got all these people. You got Cynthia. You got tons of people in here who are for real, Okay, if I missed anybody, my apologies. My apologies if I missed you. You got DW Mobile Notary Service. You got Wendy. You got Lavelle's. You got all these people. You got my man Claude. He's doing good. He is a great notary. Y'all need to get with him. He's in Texas. Get with him. Get with him. You got all these people who are out here ready to do this business correctly. And I'm just trying to do my best to encourage y'all. I'm just trying to do my best to encourage y'all to stick to truth. Question these people. I'm telling you, you have to question them. I won't question them because they'll think that I'm attacking, especially if it's a lady. They think, oh, you're attacking a woman. No, I'm attacking the statements that you're saying as to whether or not it's truthful. But you do need to start asking questions. That's how you grow your understanding of business. And that's how you find out where people really are at. Oh, you can do this and you guys do it. Show me. Well, I can't show you, then I'm leaving you alone. Because if you're going to come out publicly, there's certain things I understand, keep quiet. But if you're telling me I should be making this amount of money, then show me how you do it. Well, I can't show you. Okay, so you want to just keep it for yourself. But you want me to pay you for something that you're not going to expose or share with me. What are you going to share with me then? Well, I'm a motivator. I'm going to motivate you. I need information. How do I do this? How do I get this? Oh, I can't tell you all that. You don't want me to give away my trade secrets. I mean, that's how people are acting. I don't want you to know, I got to keep my stuff together. Y'all can tell how old I am. Thank you very much. Quality over quantity as always. Thank you for the belated birthday. Thank you there, Ray. That's my man there. Thank you for I'm doing everything I can to help y'all. I just want y'all to be the best. And I know y'all can. And what makes me happy is that I know that you know you can. Whether you do it or not, it's different. But you know you can do this. And I'm excited about each and every one of y'all when y'all get them orders, when I get to do doc reviews with y'all, when y'all call asking questions, I get, hey, what you need help with? No problem, I got you. Okay, is this okay? Yeah, this is what this probably means. Well, no, I can't answer that. Call the signing company, call the title company. They should be able to guide you and tell you. But ask the question like this, okay? Say it this way, and they'll listen to you more so than if you say it the other way. Oh, okay, got it. Get back. Man, Griff, that was right on point. Yeah, that was good. That was right on time. I mean, people call me all the time. They call me when I'm in signings, before I go to signing, after. And if I can't talk to you while I'm in a signing for some reason, because, like if you need help on a signing, well, most of the time I'm going to help you. But if it's just a general question, I'll be like, hey, can I call you back? Yeah, man, no problem. I call them back. I do that, and I'm happy to do that, and I love doing it. So y'all enjoy your weekend. Yes, watch some basketball games. Mother's Day this weekend. So enjoy that special birth mom or adopted mom or surrogate mom or neighborhood mom. Enjoy them and show them some love, show them respect, and do things for them the way you would want to see them do the business. If that person who you look up as a mom, the way you're being told to do this business, would you want her to do the business that same way? I don't think so. You would want them to do it right so they can get the most out of it and the best out of it. You do the same. All right. Talk to y'all later. Peace.